Hello everyone, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. And we just had Dovetail Direct last Sunday, where all the nice new shiny things that are going to be coming to TSW4 have been announced, and one of those was the London Overground route. We kind of knew about this anyway, didn't we? But we didn't have much detail about it. So I thought, you know, for those of you not familiar with the London Overground, of which I got to admit I'm one of them, let's have a look at it on TS Classic. It's slightly different on TS Classic, but it will give you a flavour of what the route is going to be like for TSW4. So I've just picked out a scenario. We're going between Gospel Oak and Barking on this one. Good afternoon, driver. Welcome back to the cab for the return journey. That's because I've done the other outbound service prior to this. You'll be in charge of the return eastbound service between Gospel Oak and Barking. Please let passengers board here when you're ready before departing. Alright, let's get into it then. Let's get the doors open first of all, shall we? Get it into forwards. Let's just make sure we've got the lights on. Instrument lights are all okay. Headlights looking good. Let's just double check we got the right headlights selected. Day running. That's it. Brilliant. Now this is the first thing I want to say is this is a 172, and we already know when it comes to TSW it won't be the 172. This is an older unit. We'll actually be getting the 710, which is a newer unit, and so that's quite nice. I don't know what year this one is actually set in, but it's still a very good route, you know. And we can get underway. Let's do that. I think we're ready to go. Let's move out. We got the green light. A firm press on the keys required for this one. So we're going down to Barking. It's 13 stations. The TSW version is 13 stations, 13 miles. So it is a stop-start route. It's not a very long route. So it depends, kind of depends what you like, really. I like a good run, as you know. But however, this one, just basing it purely off this TS Classic, actually is quite nice. I do quite like it. So let's have a say, shall we? You do get an additional station with the TSW version. So this is going to Barking. And we do, in the TSW version, we've got Barking Riverside as well. Now, I don't know the distance between Barking and Barking Riverside. I don't know how much extra track that gives you, but the TSW version's got freight as well. I don't know if this one has got freight. I think I've run it twice. I don't think I've seen any freight, so possibly not, but it's a nice looking route all the same. So we'll run this one, take a look, and let me know what you think. That's the main thing. Because we've got 13 stations in 13 miles, you can tell we are going to stop-start quite a bit. There isn't much distance between each station. You just get up to speed and then you're stopping again. Nevertheless, it's quite a useful service, I imagine, this one. Upper Holloway in 3/4 of a mile. That's our next stop. This is a career scenario, but I'm not really that fussed about the points, I have to admit. As long as I can drive the thing and I can enjoy it, I think that's the main thing. Apologies for my voice, by the way, if it breaks slightly. I am full of a cold, it seems, at the moment. But we'll try and get past it. Okay, so I'm coming in hot. Oh, I didn't want to go into emergency. No, I certainly didn't want to do that. So it's got a combined, this 172's got a combined brake and throttle, which is what threw me then to put it into emergency. A few overgrown platforms here, look. That's what I like about TS Classic. There's a little bit of character. I mean, look at that rubbish there on the track. There's a little bit of character about some of these routes. Oh, I've done emergency again, look. You know what I mean? They're not always super clean and shiny as we see in some of the TSW ones. So I quite like it. I quite enjoy TS Classic since I've been on the PC. But this is the 172. That's quite a nice unit in itself, really. Just a 2-car. We'll go back inside. And we will set off for Crouch Hill in 3/4 of a mile. So we've got Crouch Hill, Green Lane, Tottenham, up the Spurs, Black Horse Road, Walthamstow, that's Walthamstow Queen's Road, Leighton Midland Road, Leytonstone High Road, Wanstead Park, Woodgrange Park, and Barking. And then, as I said, we've got an additional station after that in the TSW version, which is going to Barking Riverside. So a little bit extra there. Let's get the speed off because we are approaching a 30. So this is one of the new routes that was announced. We also, the other one that I'm interested in for TSW4 that is coming out is the Tadami line, which of course is our first Japanese line in TSW. I think that's going to be very interesting. Lots of players have been saying, haven't they, why do Dovetail stick to the same countries every time? Well, there you go. We've suddenly got a new country there. With Japan, so that also in TS Classic looks like a very nice route. I'm going to try and get hold of that route so we can have a look at the Tadami line as well. I do think you'll enjoy that one. That one kind of reminds me of a Nidatalborn sort of scenic experience, if you will. So we'll try and get that. We'll see if we can play it. But for now, we're at Crouch Hill, and once again, coming in pretty hot. We've got 3 stages of brake. Come on, come on. Right, we're into the overgrowth. That's not good, is it? Some of the train's in the platform, so it should be okay. Everyone needs to get on at the back. Shall we have a bit of horn while we're waiting? Very strong horn, that. Crouch Hill, we'll have a look at the map shortly once we're underway. Then you can look at that as well. They did publish a route map for the TSW version. If you go back to Dovetail Direct, I think the whole presentation's about 28 minutes, and it's on YouTube. They've put it into handy chapters as well, so you can go straight to what it is you're looking for. I did just go and look at the London Overground version or section again just before recording this. As we make our way to Haringey Green Lanes. So let's just have a look at the map. Not that one, this one. If we zoom out, see this is also, so this is the Goblin lines and the London Overground. So it's a little bit more than the route map. I think the actual route map for TSW starts around this end. Let's have a look. We've got Gospel. Right, so we've got Gospel Oak there, you see. So there's Gospel Oak. And if we go to Barking, Barking is down here. So you can see the TS Classic map is a lot bigger, but you've got all this section here. And because of that, I am speeding magnificently. So let's get that down. Good job I'm not after the points, isn't it? So with this TS Classic version, there's quite a lot extra to do actually. If you do, if you are fortunate as well to have a PC. I think it's quite often in a sale, this one as well. But if TSW is more your thing, then you'll probably be waiting for that to come along, I think. Haringey, Green Lanes, look at those points now, minus 488. The thing about TS Classic, once you lose points, it's really difficult to get them back. It really is. When I play it, when I'm not streaming it, I seem to play absolutely fine. Once your concentration goes and you're trying to talk at the same time, it's a difficult thing to do, to be honest. Who cares? Who cares? Right. Let's get into break free. I'm determined to make one of these stops all okay. We will overshoot again slightly. Right, we'll get the next one. We'll get the next one. I just need to pay more attention, really. There we go. Let's see. Can we get anyone on board? Have I overshot that much? Really? Oh, wow. Okay. Right. That's me told. Let's go backwards. So that was Haringey, Green Lanes. Here it is again. I could have carried on and gone straight through, of course, but let's do it properly, shall we, from now on. I'm going to put that back to forwards. I'm going to get the doors open. I'm going to try and stay out of trouble as we look out across London. There is one point where you can see the main part of the city, including the BT Tower as well, but I can't remember where that is. We'll find it. We'll find it. It always puts the, when the doors are open, it puts the brakes in emergency as well. That's why it's not docking me any points. That's not me that's put it in emergency. It's done that itself. Anyway, let's get on to South Tottenham. Oh, we're in neutral. That doesn't help. There we go. Love how we've got these little air conditioning fans going here at the top. That's quite nice. Right, South Tottenham is just over a mile. And by this route standards, that's quite a gap between stations, that. Speed keeps catching me up. It's not a fast route at all, as you would expect. But it is a very pleasurable drive. These, as I've said before, these types of routes are not usually my thing. I have to feel like, if I'm driving one of these, I have to be immersed in it to make me feel like I'm really doing a job. And the couple of runs I've had on this one, I will admit, it does feel like, from an immersion perspective, it feels like I'm doing an important job, getting people around London. So I'm quite happy with that. As long as I've got some immersion, then I'm fine with it. I need to get used to the speeds, as you can see. The new unit, the 710 that we're getting, I'm hoping may have better brakes as well, because this doesn't brake very fast. So every time I'm coming in hot to the stations, it takes a while to slow up, unfortunately. Minus 489 on the old points there. We will, however, prepare for this 20 speed limit coming into South Tottenham platform. Let's put one stage of brake in. There's also lots of little lines going off from this one, as you probably saw from the route map. Have a look at the TSW version of this route map as well, and you can see there's a lot of lines converging. Looks like a busy old part of the rail network, this. Does any of you watching this actually travel on this line? That'd be quite interesting to know. Yeah, we didn't do too badly on that one. That's more like it. Look at that. Right at the stop marker. There's not a lot of people getting on or off though. Can we see the city yet? I think it's over here on the right hand side. We will do quite soon. Right, that's South Tottenham. Black Horse Road is next. Off we go. Right, we've got a 45 coming up. Let's do it. 1.2 miles to Black Horse Road. See what I mean though? The route's got a little bit of character, you know, just by the very way it is an overground route. Traversing this part of London. And you'll see how close it actually is to the centre of the city once we see the buildings coming into view. You know, if you're not familiar with the area. I'm not really that familiar with London, I must admit. Every time I go into London, coming down the West Coast Main Line, I'm always into London Euston, and then I'm off somewhere on the Underground. I don't think I've ever been on the Overground. Not that I recall. We'll take a quick look outside. Some construction going on there. The station is just approaching, so let's get back in. I do find this really handy here at the bottom. I do like that aspect of TS Classic. I think that's a good way to show the information. And now with that expert HUD, or the minimal HUD in TSW, I think we've got some way to that, haven't we, as well? So I've quite enjoyed using that minimal HUD since we've had that. This is Black Horse Road. How many of you have been counting the stations? What number's this? There's a stop board just there on the left. See, a bit early, that stop board. Not to worry, because we're in the platform. Yes, we've got a stop marker there, which is interesting. Yeah, I guess if we'd have stopped there, we'd have had enough room. It's quite a long platform, this one, isn't it? Right, let's just check the schedule. Walthamstow. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another 6 we've got. That's interesting as well. The guide doesn't always buzz. He doesn't buzz at every station. I should really buzz him back. Where is the guide's buzzer? It'll be here somewhere, and it must be somewhere in distance of where I am sitting as well. Probably, although I don't see it. Key switch, TPWS. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know where that is. Right, Walthamstow, Queen's Road coming up. Just over half a mile. I don't actually know how old this unit is. To be fair, we're getting the 710. This is the older unit, but to me, it's not. It doesn't seem that old. It probably is. You're all going to tell me now. It's like 20 odd years old. This unit, but I mean, it seems pretty decent. I don't know what they're like in real life, but the the in-game version of seems all right to me. It's a fairly big station. Now we can, if I put that up, we can have a look at the passenger view. Usual kind of ironing board seats there, with probably the express purpose of packing in as many people as they can. Not on our train though, we haven't got that many. We're getting some of the points back. Look, 84 there, timeliness bonus. We'll take it. We'll take what we can get as we are off to Leighton Midland Road, Platform 2, just over a mile. So yeah, it's a short route, but that's not to say it hasn't got some character, and it is quite interesting. I quite like it. It's a nice little drive. And all you fans of the UK stuff, of course, you'll probably want to add this to your collection. I've got the AP weather pack in as well. You might notice if you're a TS regular. I've also got the track, the AP track and the AP signals, so things are not, out of the box TS. But it all helps make it look pretty good. Just a bit of course. This is where the city comes up now. You see the city coming up. There it is. I knew we saw it at some point. We'll just coast it nice and gently round to the platform. I like this overground idea. I mean, it probably looks ugly from down there. But actually, being up here, this reminds me, this section actually reminds me a little bit of in Manchester, Deansgate, Oxford Road, Piccadilly, where it's all raised up like this. Actually gives me those kind of vibes. But obviously this is on a grander scale. That's another short platform, this one. But we'll do it. We've gone past the stop board, but we're alright. They must have had some long trains here though at some point, because look at the state of the look how long those platforms are, to be fair. You know what I mean? It's a decent sized platform, that, isn't it? There's the city over there. You can even see the financial district there. You see the gherkin, look, that's the gherkin. I'm assuming that's the representation of the gherkin. But it's actually got scenery a decent distance away from the line. Usually it drops off a little bit, doesn't it? Right, we're all clear to go, so let's do that. And we're off to Leytonstone. Leytonstone High Road, 3/4 of a mile. This is us, here we are. Leytonstone, Wanstead Park, Woodgrange Park, and then Barking. So I think it's about 40 minutes. I mean, obviously, as I said, Barking Riverside is a new station, which is coming in TSW4 that this one hasn't got. But from Gospel Oak to Barking is about 40 minutes, calling it all stations. So that's the kind of length of run that you can expect once you get this in TSW. So it's a quickie, you know. Let's get some brake in early as we approach the overgrown section of Leytonstone. And you know, you think, don't you? You think, oh, it's 13 miles, 13 stations. It must be really easy to drive. I'll tell you what, though. You do need to learn these stopping distances. There is a definite skill there to learn. It's not all about just jumping in and driving it and it being really easy. It really isn't. There's some skill needed there. And I'm talking to you guys, and I'm not properly concentrating on it, but I'm doing my best. But you know, you can see how this. Well, you see ahead of us. You can see how twisty. It's not a very straight route. You can see it twisting around. You know, if I go here, for example, that's where we are there. But you can see there's a lot of turns in it, a lot of kinks. It's pretty straight, but there's a few kinks in it. And you'll go around a corner and the station will just be there, just approaching. You know, you've got to learn your landmarks and try and pick up your stopping distances, etc. So, you know, there is a learning curve. And that'd be a good way to approach it, being such a short route. You know, learn it like a real driver. It does take some doing, especially when we've got so many routes that we've got in TS Classic and in Train Sim World. Everybody's got the favourite routes which they like to get better on. And it can be difficult, can't it, going back to a route you've not played in a while and remembering stopping distances, etc. But some skill there, definitely. Wanstead Park, in just under a mile, that's where we're going next. So I think possibly 45 miles per hour on this route. I think that's the fastest we've got to so far. legally, anyway. I have gone over speed slightly in a couple of cases, but the legal limit, the limit that we're supposed to stick to, 45. Yes, you see, Wanstead Park is creeping up around this bend, look. And if you're not looking at that little sort of, you know, information bar at the bottom, and you had to learn it like a real driver would, that adds another level of playability to the route, doesn't it? And I know a lot of you do that. But these short routes really do take some learning if you're going to play it that way. Here's the station. And, you know, some of the platforms are not massive. But let's get everybody on, because we haven't far to go. Quite a bit of tilt going on there. Right, off we go, Woodgrange Park. So I think we've got Woodgrange Park and Barking, and that's us. You can actually get a vegetation pack from AP as well, which enhances all this line side stuff. I am considering getting that, you know. I'm considering it. I've seen a few other players playing with that, and it looks quite good. But I might just wait for the next sale. You can end up spending a fortune, can't you, on train simulators and add-ons, etc., if you're not careful. It's about 15 quid, something like that. But, you know, in some cases, like on here, I don't think... I think all these trees, etc., I think they look pretty good. But it definitely does enhance some routes. I noticed particularly if you've got Settle Carlisle, which is one of the older routes for TS Classic. That vegetation pack really makes a difference. I was watching somebody play it on YouTube a few days ago, and it absolutely transformed the route. So some of these upgrades are quite good. I've got this weather pack. I haven't got the clouds pack. There is a clouds pack as well. I haven't got that one. But this is Woodgrange Park, and that's another one that crept up on us, didn't it? Yeah, see, look at that. The brakes are on 3. We're in notch 3, and it's still taking a while to slow down. Let's hope the new unit is a little bit better than that. Let's get the doors open. Trying to think of other short routes that we had. I think the Glossop line was a short route, wasn't it? And a lot of players were saying, no, I don't know about that. It's very short, and I don't know if there's enough playability in it. But actually, when the Glossop line came out, I think that was really well received. Unless you guys are going to tell me wrong. And like we always say, you don't, unless you're desperate for it, you don't have to pick it up day one, do you? I saw Glossop line, for example, in a sale over Christmas, and it was something daft, like 70% off. You know, so if you don't want a route straight away, you can always pick it up later in a sale. But I would expect that you know, DTG bring out these routes based on data as to how routes this length, for example, would sell based on historic information. Maybe like Glossop, for example. They're not going to bring a route out that nobody wants. So, you know, at the same time, while I like really long routes and I like a good run, many of you do like a short route. And actually, talking about Glossop, I really enjoy Glossop. I mean, it's sort of local to me. Manchester's only 30 miles away. You know, and having worked in Piccadilly and at Victoria and that general area, you know, I have a connection to it, so it was actually quite nice playing on that. I still play on that now quite a bit. We've got a mile until a Barking. So we'll start slowing it up a little bit. So we've actually done well as well. I've not noticed this the whole way through, but I'm just looking down the bottom left hand corner at the timings. And we're due into Barking at 13:58. That's what time it wants us in. And actually, we're going to be there at 13:57 and 49 seconds. I didn't realise we kept to time. I didn't even look down there. But I've quite enjoyed it. I do like it. I think it's quite good. I think it's a good one to bring to TSW. Because if all routes were the same, it would be a very boring game, wouldn't it? So we need a bit of variety. So we'll drop down this hill into Barking. Now I don't know where Barking Riverside, where we go off to. If we were going off to Barking Riverside now in TSW, I think it is off to the right somewhere. As I look at the sort of route map that came out for the TSW version of this. So just make sure we don't speed into Barking and hit the buffers. That would not be good. Barking's quite a big station. I'm not familiar with what connects up here at Barking. But there's quite a lot of lines converging here, so it's a busy old station though. And just in case you're wondering, we've not got a date yet for this. We did get some gameplay though, didn't we? We did get some gameplay in Dovetail Direct, so I would hope that that is, you know, around the corner. But let's see. Hopefully, we're due a release of something quite soon. Let's get the brakes on. And we'll get the doors open one last time. I'll let everybody off. Let's just have a quick look at that route map actually. So if I centre where we are, we're here. So are we actually going this way off to... I wonder if we're going this way. We could be going off this way in the TSW version. Down to Barking Riverside. Don't think it tells us anything down here. We've got yards down here, head shunt, Freightliner terminals down here. It could be down here actually. Could be down here. Well done, driver. What a pleasant run. Let's not look at the points, shall we? That was terrible. But I hope you've enjoyed it. That was just a quick look at the TS version of of the London Overground, which is coming to TSW hopefully fairly soon. Let me know what you think about the route though. Was there anything in Dovetail Direct that you were surprised at? That would be interesting information. Was it stuff that you'd already been predicted? I saw a lot of people on YouTube were predicting what they thought the announcements were going to be on Sunday. I don't know how many of those were right, but yeah, let me know what you think. Don't forget to leave me a like as well, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe and come back for more. Until next time, have a good one. See you on the next one. Bye for now.